Now, students, finishing off this structure here. So I want to show you what I've done here. So I showed you how to create these rails, all right, using the reference plane and creating the reference plane using the flat surface of the columns here. Okay, so that is just repeated on each of the four sides. And if you're clever about it, you can go into, if you do one side, you can go into one of the elevations, select each of these, and actually just copy them directly across onto this side here. So that can speed up things quite dramatically as well. The other thing here is if I go into my south elevation, you'll see that this is the extra portion of the building that has been added on. So in order to take that into account, what I've done is on these beams, these columns here, I've extended these up to the correct level, but also I've actually added a top offset of 450 here. All right, and that brings me up to that kind of roof area. You notice as well that I've added in beams across here in between those six columns to provide structural support, but also to provide a platform for the roof as well. So that kind of completes my structure in one sense. Now, probably the last thing that you have to do is this exercise here of framing out the windows. And again, if we go back into the south elevation, now you're seeing right through onto the north side there as well. But I've got these vertical C channels here, and then I actually split the purlin. You can see that I split the purlin, the rail, and pulled it back there. Now, this was a little bit tricky. Shouldn't have been, but it was. So I'm going to do this on the north elevation for you. Okay. Now, making sure that I've got my building lined up correctly. I think I have here. Okay. I went into modify and split. Okay, and then I split this rail here, and then I pulled it back. Now, so just take your time when you're doing this, because we are working in 3 dimensions here, and sometimes this can go a little bit haywire. So just check it consistently in 3D there. Right, that's a perfect split there. Now, to get those C channels, the verticals in, I'm going to do it this way here. So I'm in that north elevation there. So I'm going to go into a structure column, and I want a vertical column. I'm going to load a family in here and just show you where I've gone in UK library, and I'm coming in to make sure that you come out of structural framing, because that's where you got the rails and the purlins from, and into structural columns, because you need these to be vertical. So here's light gauge steel, and there's a kind of a C channel there. There's an angle one here. There's other different types. There's a Tegel Z vertical as well. And there's a stud column there. There's that one. So I'll take the Tegel Z here, I think. And shouldn't really, yeah, but I will. Okay, so let's just take the smallest one here. Right, now, because this is a column, if you remember, what I'm going to do is, here's my rail, so I'm just going to place it, right? We can't see it, and that's fine. And then the window comes down as far as here, and I'm going to place that. Now, I'll go into my 3D. So there's the two of them there. So I'll pick both. And I'm going to say, well, listen, come on up as far as the top of the beam. That should, and I'm going to apply, and they should scoot up there. And then I'm going to go from the ground floor, but I'm going to put a base offset of, say, 1300 in here as well. Now, so there's my channel. I can tidy those up. Let's make sure that they're in the right spot here now as well. So, and I'll just go into a section 2 here. Yeah, there they are there. There's that one on that side and that one on that side. All right. So if you go along on the understanding of the properties that these are columns, in the same way that we position the big columns, position these and then move them up. You can actually then, in an elevation, select it and move it left and right as well, just in case you didn't get it positioned perfectly. And then if I go into the south elevation, you can see that I'm going to frame out. Now I might put in an extra rail here just to frame out that window there. So I might put in an extra rail across there. I'll put in a vertical here and a vertical there, and I'll split those rails there in order to get that door in. I need to get that window in. If you come down to, so again, the advantage of inserting in the PDF is that you've got the reference there. So you've got windows here, doors, windows, large glazing, door, windows, door, large glazing at the back here. And so that one would be tricky. You'll stop all the rails here nearly and just have your main steel supports there. And then I will use curtain wall glazing to build that, and I'll use curtain wall glazing to build this one as well. And I might just insert windows and doors, curtain wall glazing for that into the architectural elements that you're going to do after you've got the structure finished. Okay, so so the final thing, if you've managed to follow along so far here in terms of the structure for this, is that you're going to provide a roof platform here, roof platform there, and then you're going to frame out each of the openings by putting in those, splitting the rails and putting in the vertical C channels or those integral Z purlins for that. Okay, that's it.